this is Dr. Joe Borio with Chiropassion Consulting, and we're doing a live webinar, and we want to talk to you tonight about mastering your life. Certainly, the reason I picked that topic is we are putting together an event in the Dominican Republic. It is going to be September 20th, 21st, and 22nd. We're going to start, I know it's going to sound awful, but we're going to actually start in the Dominican Republic on the beach Friday evening, and we're shooting for a 6 o'clock start time, maybe a little bit earlier, and we're going to go right into 10 o'clock. We've got a couple other speakers for us Friday night as well, bringing in the Philosophy Night Extravaganza. We're going to bring in Lyle Kocha. If you haven't heard of him, he, and I'd be surprised if you haven't, absolutely phenomenal, and somebody that, as I told him last time he spoke, he completes me. So just a phenomenal person to present. We're going to have Liam Schubel at some point over the weekend. He'll be speaking with us. Dr. Shane Walker certainly will be speaking with us, along with a few other speakers throughout the weekend. We're looking to do a mastermind, and that, as I said, will start Friday night. We're going to also meet Saturday morning, Saturday evening, and then Sunday morning, hopefully weather permitting, we're going to meet and present on the beach in the Dominican. Again, I know it sounds like it's going to be a rough thing for you, but it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. And we really want to talk about mastering some of the challenges in your life, and that's what it is. It's going to be trying to break through. So hang with us here over the next 25 minutes, and then at the end, I certainly want to share with you a little something extra that you can maybe give you a little bit more of an incentive to join us. Our event will actually be in conjunction with the IFCO Global Summit. So if you want to take part in the Global Summit as well, certainly your registration fee for the IFCO Global Summit covers your involvement with Chiropassion Consulting as well. So it's just going to be an outstanding weekend with some absolutely phenomenal leaders and presenters in chiropractic. So you're going to come out of this, I think, a changed person. Certainly, that is our goal. That is our goal. So let's talk about mastering your life. What the heck does that mean? Mastering your life means creating the life that you want. I think we walk around in a very reactive state. I know I did for a long time. So you're walking around in your life and you're reacting to things. And by reacting to things, you haven't mastered them. And one of my mentors that I read often is a guy by the name of Napoleon Hill. And he's somebody that wrote Think and Grow Rich. He wrote Law of Success, which is a phenomenal book. So I certainly would recommend that you get both of those books along with some of his audio recordings. You can get those right on iTunes. But an individual that really talks about that. And, and then there's so many other mentors and leaders and people who talk about that. Obviously, everybody in the modern age relates a lot of things to Tony Robbins. Obviously, same type of success individual. But when you listen to them and so many other people, you realize that mastering your life means essentially taking control of your life. There's two things that you really control more than anything, and one is time. Now, when I say control time, what I mean is you have an allotment of time every day. So the universe gives you 24 hours every single day to accomplish something. So you may not be able to control the hours of the day, but the point is you control what you do during that time. So you do have a lot of control over the time in which you're going to create or manifest during the day. That's number one. So you want to create, manifest not only the day, but your life each and every day. Number two, you control your thoughts. And again, something I think as a young guy, growing up and playing a lot of sports, you become very reactive to so much, or at least, again, I know I did. And you forget that, listen, people don't make you mad, people don't make you angry, people don't make you sad, people don't do anything to you. It's reactive. Part of it's learned behavior, and then the other part of it is forgetting that you're in control of your thoughts. You're choosing to make yourself feel in a certain way, even though it may not be in your head consciously. So mastering your life, just briefly here in the little time we have together, means that you need to take better control of time management. I mean, I can go back to Benjamin Franklin, and you can go back to the Greeks and the Romans when they talked about managing your time. They were using a sundial, right? But managing your time. Again, taking that allotment of your day, every day, and utilizing it to your advantage. Controlling your thoughts. Every single day, you need to control what's up in here. You need to take absolute 100% control of your thoughts. One of the things that I know Napoleon Hill often talks about is be cautious or careful upon what you dwell upon. What are you dwelling upon? What's taking over your thought day to day? Those are really two very important aspects of mastering your life. And certainly there's other tools and aspects of each one of those, and then subsets of all that. So in the time we have, let's talk about a few things. One, time. When we look at time, what we want to understand is that when you get up in the morning, we need to set rituals that can be plugged into your day that work towards your ultimate goal. So one of the things that I work with, and we'll certainly talk a lot about this down at Dominican, is our brain works really good at setting goals and trying to attain those goals, believe it or not. So what we need to do is, one, we need to come up with a destination. So we hop in a car, you don't know where you're going. Nowadays, thankfully, I know for me, because I don't have a sense of direction, you're going to punch in a GPS, okay? So in the GPS, you're going to put a destination that you want to go to. And then what happens is you'll be directed along the way in order to get there. We need to do that with our life too. So I actually have my journal with me right here. I've got 3 of these puppies. So I'm always writing things down. One of them I write down thoughts, as BJ did. I would write down quick thoughts or flashes. And then another one is more of a goal-oriented book, and then the other one is more of my vision book. So that's basically how I do it. There's a lot of different ways to organize that. But that being said, we need to set rituals throughout the day that I can plug in during the day that work towards my time and my thoughts. So they're going to handle both of those categories. So what the heck does that mean? That means in the morning, I'm going to make sure that the rituals that I perform, I choose to do consciously, and that they are plugged in to getting me to the destination that I want to go to. And there's so many benefits for that. One of the things is it sets your mind in gear so that everything you look at throughout the day, everything you hear, everything you feel, everything you touch, is basically going to go through the filter of, is that working towards my goal? Yes and no. Makes your time more efficient, makes your decisions more efficient, makes every step more efficient in attaining that goal. That's critical. That is very, very important. Number 2, it sets rituals that empower you throughout the day to make better decisions upon what your destination is. See, people forget, we all have rituals. I have some people say, well, I don't do any rituals, Dr. Joe. Yeah, you do. If you lay in bed and do nothing, that is your ritual. People that have gained 30, 40 pounds, that are really out of shape, that have a lot of health challenges, they have rituals. Just like the person who runs marathons, they have rituals. So the average person may look and say, well, that guy's got some great rituals who's running the marathon, and this guy over here has no rituals. That's not true at all. They both work very hard at getting where they are right now, or to get where they've gotten right now. That person that is really out of shape, he or she spends a lot of time doing nothing. There's a conscious or subconscious effort to say, look, I'm not going to do anything today. I'm going to lay in bed an extra half hour, 45 minutes. I'm not going to have anything to eat in the morning. I'm going to make really lousy choices for my life. I'm not going to choose to get adjusted. I'm not going to bring my family in to get their nervous system checked. I'm going to put a lot of bad stuff in my body. I'm going to just create a life of nothing but stress. And what happens is, over a period of time, all of those things become accumulative in their effects to my overall health, just like this person over here who's getting adjusted regularly, who's eating regularly, who's exercising regularly, who has a regiment that is situated towards the goal. I know that I got to run 27, 28 miles here coming up in a couple of months, so everything I do today is geared towards attaining that goal. So that's important to understand it. So the first question I have is, are you taking proper use of your time? And by that, first, do you have rituals that are working towards you or against you? So when we talk about mastering our life, one of the things I see with chiropractors is, we all want to see a lot of people. We love what we do. The average chiropractor loves chiropractic, but they have a difficult time communicating it, articulating it, expressing value. They have a very difficult time setting structure, protocols, procedures in their practice. And as a result, they haven't mastered any of that. And what happens is they're constantly struggling in practice, and it's very unfortunate. So number 1, you need to be the product. You need to make sure you're getting adjusted. You need to make sure that you're in good nutritional state. You need to make sure you're in good physical state. So the question is, are you doing those things? Are the rituals that you have now working towards that goal? If they're not, you're going to write some down. So what I recommend all of our clients is you actually spend a minimum of 30 minutes, if not an hour, with a set of rituals in the morning. And those rituals may be, I'm going to get up in the morning early, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to take a knee and be grateful, do a grateful inventory to the universe of how thankful and blessed that my life is, and thank you for my life. Is even though I might have some bad things coming out of my life right now, I definitely want to be thankful for that, because every bad thing that comes in your life is an opportunity for you to grow, to learn, to succeed, because life is a task master, as Napoleon Hill has taught us, sometimes a cruel task master. So once we get through those tasks, we don't realize it, but we come through stronger, smarter. If we haven't mastered the task, what's going to happen is that task is going to either stay with us or another one's going to repeat in our life, and until we get a chance to master it. So know, are your rituals in the morning working towards your goal? Number two, let's say somebody has a lot of trouble with practice management. Are you working with a management coach? Did that management coach, he or she, did they give you some things to do regularly in an effort to plug in? Am I getting to the office early? Am I preparing? Am I organized? Am I listening to some things philosophically or scientifically? Do you need to work on your clarity? Do you need to work on your confidence? Do you need to work on your ability to communicate the message to people? Do you need to are you weak on your financial structure? So those are the rituals that you start every day, and those rituals are set for you to get through the day. Same thing, during the day, afternoon, end of the day, and evening, you should have certain segments of the day where you command, you control, you basically bend, if you will, space and time to work to your advantage. Listen, I own these 24 hours. They are my 24 hours, and I'm going to make sure during that time period, I'm going to take several hours out of the day, each and every day, to work a set of rituals so that I can create and manifest what my GPS is. And that GPS, again, is, that destination is, hey, I want to see, let's say it's a volume, I want to see a certain number of people to adjust today. Here's the level of income I want to have. Here's my relationship that I want to have. Here is the I'm having trouble talking, parenting I want to achieve, and so forth. Hey, I want to have greater command over my finances. I want to have more free time in my life. Whatever that is, whatever that destination is, you need to write it down, and then what you need to do is look at that throughout the course of every day, so that you know, okay, I'm going to refocus on what it is I want. We all know that experience. You buy a car and it's a certain color and a certain style of car, and then all of a sudden you notice once you do that, everybody else has that car, right? The same thing. When you start looking at things every single day, what happens is they start to appear in your life, even though they've been there all along. Just like all those other cars, you just never noticed them until you actually start commanding your thoughts in order to focus on that. But the first way to control your thoughts is to take control of your time. That's number one. Number two is controlling your thoughts. And I know I'm going over stuff brief, and I'm hyper, and I talk fast, but I'm trying to cram a lot in here. That is controlling your thoughts. So let me read you, I want to read you a little Napoleon Hill with a twist to Joe Borio, okay? Because I took notes, and I kind of, bend things to make them fit. 10 action steps to achieve success. Always do your own thinking. So that doesn't mean take in information or not take in information. What it means is that take in information, but in the end, you're the one that has to decide. You're the one that has to make that decision. So that's number one. Decide what you want from life. So here's Napoleon talking in 1920, 1930, spoke at a couple of the graduation at Palmer, by the way. So phenomenal guy, good friend of B.J. Palmer. But decide what it is you want from life, then create a plan for attaining it. So decide what it is. What is my destination? Important. Analyze temporary defeat. I don't even like the word defeat. I don't even like the word failure. What I do like is learning. I like tasks. That life is going to throw you tasks, and you're not always going to be great at it. If I sit down and try to learn the piano, if somebody says, hey, listen, you're going to learn karate. I've never done karate before, and I'm going to put you in against a master. You're not going to do really well. You're not necessarily failing on throwing a right hand. You're not necessarily failing on how to block or kick or punch. What you are doing is you're learning. Those are tasks that enable you to learn. Just like life. Life is going to throw you things, and what they are is they aren't your, you can choose to get angry, you can choose to deny it, you can choose to, as I've done, I'm not standing here saying that I didn't react like that early on in my life, but what happens as time goes on, you realize, look at that's a test. That's something that came into my life for a reason, and I'm going to basically overcome that so that in the end I'm going to grow and become the best version of my former self. That's how you master your life. Be willing to render useful service to a greater degree in which you're going to get paid. I mean, we don't see that in our society. You got to understand something. You want to grow, you want to serve, you want to give to the world, and you want to be successful, and you want to master your life. One of the keys to doing that is to give service at a greater level than you ever anticipate or expect on getting paid for. When I adjust you, I want to give you the absolute best adjustment. You'd never be able to pay me the amount of money that's probably worth. You couldn't, but I'm going to make sure I do. I want to make sure my office looks phenomenal and clean and neat. I want to make sure my staff looks awesome. Make sure my phone system's awesome. We want to call you. We want to make sure you call you later that day. We want to make sure you get a receipt that you understand. We want to make sure you have health plans that you can understand. We want to make sure we take care of your children. We want to make sure that we do outside talks and inside talks and patient appreciation. We want to give so much out that people are going to have a fair exchange. They're going to pay something, but we want to give so much more than anyone would ever expect or think that it's worth. And if you do that, people will always come back. And you can think of a million things in your life that, think of a restaurant you go to and you spend $15 for a dinner, and they give you this portion that's like twice as big as you get. The average person's like, oh my God, I feel like I'm ripping them off there. How the hell do they make any money? Look at this. It's kind of that same idea, that same wow experience. But that can happen on a transaction of a moment. It has to be your practice every day. Recognize your brain is always receiving communication from the universal storehouse. How do you like that? Thought flashes, right? So listen to that intuition when things come to you. Recognize your greatest asset is time. We talked about that. Recognize fear is a self-made destructive force that fills and uses and drains and occupies unused portions of your mind. Know that fear, false evidence appearing real, that fear doesn't exist. Danger exists. Something's going to attack you. Danger exists. But I'm telling you, when you study the research, you are in the worst ability, cognitive thought, when you're in a state of fear, when you're in a state of anger, when you're in a state of hate. That's when you think the worst. But when you come from a state of gratitude, love, communion, appreciation, you will always think at your best. You will always be at your best. Understand that if you find yourself getting afraid, that first reaction of fear, take a breather, calm down. Okay, what can I learn from this? What's happening here? Obviously, if you're going to see some animal coming after you, okay, I'm going to run right now. I get that. Or, pull out a gun. I understand that. But in reality, I'm talking about life and life situations throughout the day. Something that happens. B.J. Palmer said that how many hours I've wasted dwelling upon things that never came. How many hours wasted dwelling upon things that never came? Fear is a story you write that hasn't happened yet. Fear is a story of the worst case scenario that you wrote that never even happened yet. That's what fear is. Oh my God, boo, you write it down, and then that becomes real in your mind, and then all you do is dwell upon the story you wrote that didn't even happen yet. No, step back and go, okay, this awful thing is happening. Let me step back. What can I do in order to learn from it and persevere through it? That's what you have to do. That's mastering your life. Choose to take control of your state and fill your thought and unused portions of your mind with faith in your ability to make life provide you with what you want. When you pray, do not beg God or the universe. Demand from the universe what it is you want. Let me tell you something. Universal intelligence is abundant. It's an unlimited amount of energy, an unlimited amount of intelligence that it's out there. All you need to do is reach out and grasp for it. That's all you need to do. But if you're unwilling to do that, it's never going to be there for you. But it's always there for you. God didn't make you to be a failure. God didn't make you to be poor. God didn't make you to suffer. Certainly, if you're a chiropractor, the universe chose you to be a chiropractor. The universe made this phenomenal, awesome tool that's up on the shelf saying, listen, I'm going to make you, and I'm going to use that tool to help change the world, to make humanity healthier. That's what you're chosen for. Don't forget that. I think too many chiropractors do. Recognize that life is a cruel taskmaster. We talked about that last. Know this well. Your dominating thoughts are real. What you think about, you will bring about. What you think about, you will bring about. We heard this, right? I think, therefore I am. What I think about, I bring about. What I dwell upon, I will bring about. If I dwell upon fear, then fear will present itself in your life. If I dwell upon failure, failure will dwell upon in your life. Listen, the world doesn't need more critics. The world needs problem solvers, solution. We need doers. You need to be a doer. You need to get up and say, look, you know what? This is happening. I can spend just as much time and energy beating the hell out of myself, or I can spend that same amount of time and energy building myself up, making myself stronger, clarifying myself, creating greater degree of certainty, greater degree of confidence, developing the skill sets that I didn't have before that I need in order to punch through this. That's what we need to do as chiropractors. That's what we need to do as human beings. That's how you master your life. That's how you do it without any hesitation. We got a great event coming up, as I mentioned, 20th, 21st, 22nd, Dominican Republic. You can go right to my website, and that's chiropassionconsulting.org. And really, essentially, our benefit is this. If you sign up for the IFCO Global Summit, you will get admission to our event Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday at no additional charge if you sign up for the IFC Global Summit. And I don't think you're going to walk away from this without being changed. We're looking to do a fire walk on Friday night to punch through fear. We've got all types of different symbolic, traditional tools and skill sets that we're going to utilize to allow you to punch through the obstacles or challenges that you are faced with in your life, or that you're holding down deep inside right here. We need to bring it to the surface, and we need to break it through. We need to teach that mind that it's not real, that's something that you've anchored your mind to, and once you punch through that, nothing, not anything will hold you back. That's what Mastering Life's about. That's what our Mastermind event's going to be about. Join us on chiropassionconsulting.org, Dominican Republic, unifying with the IFC Global Summit. Spend 3 days down in the Dominican on the beach learning how to master your life, how to mastermind with other docs, mentoring with other docs, becoming part of that family, changing your life and changing the life of all those you serve. That's what it's about. Listen, guys, thank you so much for joining in tonight. Remember, may your innate always flow from above down, and I love you for loving what we all love. Have a great night. Look forward to seeing you in the Dominican. Thanks so much.
Best friend gave me the best advice.